This wrestling against flesh and blood, against the principalities, against the powers, yes. Yesterday, I sent you an email about this whole idea of conspiring against an individual. Yes. Child abduction and conspiracy. Oh, I think it's very conspiratorial. Yes. When you, as employees of the government, have no legal right to know anything about my private life. Yes. Because you're the ones that decided to commit the fraud and the forgery. Yes. And then you obstruct my right to sue you. Yes. Because you think, well, the longer we stay out of prison, the better it is for us. But when you committed the fraud of issuing the two reference numbers, yeah, I gave you screen prints of those. Yeah. You committed fraud against the United States Treasury. Now, these are forgeries. Oh, and approximately 95% of Heidi Lee Budner's signatures are forgeries. Yeah. But for some reason, you think, well, we'll just keep him homeless, and that way we'll keep ourselves out of prison. Oh. But you actually issued two dissolutions of marriage. Yes. When everybody else gets one of them. Yeah. And these reference numbers. Oh, on the same day as the dissolution of marriage. Yes. I just want to know every notice or document that was issued. Yes. From Child Support Services. Yes. Where all the state employees said, well, we just can't move it. Because all the federal employees said, well, we just can't do anything about it. If he gets a job and he pays taxes, we'll have to take his tax refunds for the next 20 years. Seems like there's a whole lot of individuals in the employment of the government that have the I can't do it attitude. But I can sue you. You realize this, don't you? Yes. And I can sue the United States Treasury for collecting any back child support. Yes. From any court order. Yes. Where the state of Washington or any state of the United States did not protect the due process rights. Now, the idea of issuing it on the same day as a dissolution of marriage, yeah, you pretty much made it permanent, didn't you? Ouch. And when you issued two reference numbers, yes, you probably sent notice at some point that I owed back child support. Yes. Well, when it's two reference numbers on the same day of the marriage or the dissolution of marriage, yes, where there's no right to appeal right now, so that my wife could marry the next day, yes, you actually obligated the United States Treasury to collect any and all federal government motherfucking payments. Now, I'm gonna want my sons today. And I'm going to want to use the court system in the United States. Yes. Then I'm going to want to use the International Criminal Court. Yes. And the Hague Court of War Crimes. Yes. Because I would say that all these federal employees that happen to be in the bureaus of the United States Treasury. Yes. Because I emailed the Treasury, didn't I? Yes, you did. That the thought of you not enforcing the civil rights of American citizens because of your family's way of handling problems. Yes, means that they are very much complicit in and aiding and abetting those that have committed the fraud. Oh. Now, you would think that the United States Treasury employees in the various bureaus of the Treasury, yes, they would have thought a long time ago why it is that they would arrest and prosecute. Because they themselves don't want to go to prison. When it's terrifying, yes, that you as county employees refuse to enforce my rights because you as the state employees refuse to obligate the enforcement of the rights that federal employees are now terrified that they themselves are going to fucking prison because this is how this has worked. Yes, it is. Now, the United States federal government cannot collect back child support because of the use of fraud, scheme, forgery. And if they can't legally collect, yes, then they are personally liable for allowing you to stay in the employment that you have. Ouch! And I'm going to want to use the court system of the United States of America.